Hello everybody. I don't have my notes ready because apparently I wasn't ready. It's Tuesday again, and if you don't know, I'm Justin Nightinger, and I'm going to be running this crazy ride of a stream known as DMSAVINGTHROW. Due to one of our cast members, I again have to say this is a hard R rated campaign. I'm not going to name any names, Lisa, but that's
Thank you. No, I'd prefer if you didn't. No, that's cool. We don't need names. I'd like to make a formal apology for earning us a hard R-rated rating.
So we are down one person tonight, but that doesn't change the fact that I need to do things in a certain order. So we're going to get things kicked off in alphabetical order, starting with Casey.
Hey everybody, my name's Casey Boyd. I'm playing Byron Bancroft. I hit level 8 or 4 or 7, whatever we are. I got 4th level spells, and I was able to unlock Polymorph.
Oh, that's not good for me.
Who don't recall?
I'm very excited.
Know what Polymorph does, but I too am very excited.
Lisa,
oh, God,
it's your turn.
So
Emily's out.
Alrighty, hello everyone. My name is Lisa. I'm playing Nyx, your ghostly girlfriend, your reborn cleric, and sounds like the only one in the group who didn't get anything super fancy at level 7. Rob.
Well, I'm Rob. I'm playing Casper, the paladin, who's also level 7, believe it or not. And I'm an orc. Fun fact. Not many of you might know that. I got the Aura of Alacrity because of my Oath of Glory, which, by the way, we should do more with, I feel like. Although I think we do enough. And as Lisa alluded to, my amazing thing is we can move 10 feet faster in combat the first round, probably. So.
Awesome. As always, we are playing D&D 5e with a few homebrew rules thrown into the mix. We're also using D&D Beyond, so if you go over to the left-hand side of your screen, you're going to see some avatars for our players. And I learned last week when I was watching, if you click on them, it gives you even more information. Lastly, in the middle, on the board where Clem died, got all that sweet, sweet Tailspire goodness, which every time you guys see us, we're 1 week closer to having the Hero Forge integration, which is going to be amazing. Spoiler alert, when that comes out, we'll probably spend 20 minutes just looking at new models that we've imported. But that's not this week. Yeah. As I said, usually say we are not supported by them, but we do love them. If you do play this game, you should go out and buy Tailspire. It is amazing. Any questions before we go into the recap? Nope. Okay.
Oh,
yes.
Did we want to say who has inspiration from last time?
I'll get there in 1 second. Yep.
All right.
So that's okay. So the gang survived a wyvern fight. I thought we were going to lose Casper there for a second, but he very intelligently ran away from 3 giant wyverns. It was a little touch and go, like I said, for a minute, but then they went in, they murdered my monsters as per usual, but not before I killed Nyx's pet owl. It was my glorious crowning achievement last week, or 2 weeks ago. Then they met up with Molestra the Minotaur. She is the mayor of this wonderful, wonderful mining town. She offered the group 1,000 gold if they can get her a promotion to get her off the island. Lastly, but certainly not least, Lisa makes it very, very clear that she, not Nyx, needs all the badges.
We all
yes, canonically that is also very true.
Yeah,
we knew that already.
yeah.
Lisa needs those badges.
Got one goal in this life.
But then at the very end, everybody hit level 7, so that was pretty nice for everybody. 2 weeks ago, we gave inspiration to Black Malice. So if you were out there, Black Malice, you can give me advantage or disadvantage whenever I roll, or you can give the players advantage whenever they roll. Excuse me. We also, last week when we did our one-shot, gave Lisa... Oh my god, I'm dying. We gave Lisa inspiration for being paralyzed the entire session. She rolled ones of dice over 2 hours, and I don't think she moved more than falling 50 feet.
And
So she
I
gets inspiration
helped.
this week.
Thank you.
He moved to the afterlife.
She-
Earned
Got
it.
fucking murdered.
So Lisa, you're going to be picking inspiration for this week. So everybody in chat, please keep being awesome. Last reminder, if you don't already, please like and follow us through our podcast or YouTube, or you can subscribe on here. That's always cool too. I am done shilling for now, I believe. Does anybody else have any more things to shill or anything like that? Nope. Okay, just to give credit where credit's due, this map, we have used it before. I got it from Tales Bazaar. It is XX Jade Phoenix XX, and the map is Encounter in the Woods. All right.
You guys all remember this map is where Clem died.
Yeah, it happens.
Very special location. A lot of memories attached.
Yeah,
Good memories.
she's yeah, and she didn't die in real life today. She's just not here. But she seems much more happy being Maeve. But so we ended last week with the four of you walking hand in hand into the sunset towards the south. I'll try to remember later to throw the maps into our Discord so you guys can see it. We have an island map and a mine map. Both of those maps were given to the players last week. They are in there. They'll be in there hopefully later tonight, as long as I don't forget. You guys are walking towards the south. You guys have been walking for a couple hours. This island isn't super large. As I said last time, it's about 8 miles long and 4 or 5 miles wide. But as you guys are walking, you can see the mountains getting closer, and off to the left, you're starting to see just a couple rabbit warrens just popping up on your left and right. So as you guys are walking, I'm going to change you to another map.
Oh god.
So just to clarify, a rabbit warren, that isn't like a defense position. That's more just like a home, right?
Yep, just a home. Think of it like places for small people with hairy feet from a very famous franchise, kind of like their houses.
Hovel.
Yes.
Ewoks.
Yes, Ewoks. There's a lot of them. All right, I gotta get all your
Guys, I
characters on the
hope
board.
you're okay with rabbits dying in mass, because that might happen this session.
I mean,
Maybe.
I just want to say Byron may not be down with that. $1,000 per person for a promotion or not, like, we're not just gonna murder them if they're the ones, having their land taken from them, right?
Well, what if we murder the other people and make it even?
After we get our 1,000 gold, fine.
Exactly. Give and
Exactly.
take.
Perfect. No, we'll just have to see if they're nice, sensible.
I love the dirt. in front of this house.
Yeah, so this is off of Tales Bazaar. The author's name is Bragi, Bragi, and this is called House on the Hills. And then I very quickly and very poorly put some dirt over the house to show that this is in fact a rabbit house.
It's perfect.
Is this
Yes.
canon? It's like just a house and they put some dirt around it.
No, you would think that there's like little hills. As you get closer to the mountains, it does become to get a little bit more hilly, and the rabbits are building their houses into small mounds or little hills, and that's what you have here. So before you, there is the land has raised up a little bit, and you guys are walking in between a little valley that leads you down this path. There are some rudimentary lighting that they have near where this rabbit warren is at. I do have a question for you guys in chat, and for those of you who are playing. Is the fog too much for what you guys have? Can you guys see what's going on there?
We can see.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's fine.
Unless it's hiding something that we can't see.
Yeah, in which
Bum,
case
bum,
it's terrible.
bum.
Don't like it.
Have we seen any life coming up to this point?
I mean, you have seen literal rabbits, like not the big Harangon's people, but you've seen rabbits, you've seen birds. Nothing super crazy, but the normal stuff that you would see in the wild.
Just let's keep an eye out, just because as we're approaching these hovels, it's I would think that it would make sense, logically speaking, that if they are eating humans, they might also be eating themselves, which make them even more rabid.
Do you think we should be on our guard? Do you think they're gonna attack us?
Byron's like walking with his rapier out. He's like, "Have you not been on guard this whole time? What
Oh no. I was waiting for the signal.
signal? Signal!"
Okay. Sorry.
I have to agree. Yes, moving carefully is probably a wise idea. We're
Okay.
Have you guys-
stealthing
Have you guys
canonically.
killed a rabbit? Oh, I guess we have.
Yes,
That was my
several
first
of
time being
them.
a rabbit person.
Several.
Yeah, that was my first time.
Okay.
I should say that.
I was waiting for it. I was like, okay, here it comes.
So this path that you're on leads probably 150 feet, and then on your left there is a small house for rabbits. On the right, there's another path that would lead you down to somewhere else. It just takes a right, which would take you to the western side of the island, since you are heading south. What do you guys want to do?
Sneak.
Okay.
Sneak and stealth and continue to move. I mean, we're not really aiming to go to the village. We're aiming to get to the caves themselves.
So
Or close to the
yeah,
village, so-
so I'm gonna give you guys an idea if you haven't looked at the map yet. The way that it works is here's my map. Sorry, the village, the other village, which I believe was called Cottontail. It is just past where the mountain starts, so you would get to the mine before you would get to the Cottontail village.
I say we head straight for the mine.
There's a house right here. Do we want to go say hi?
I think we should explore it just to see what we're dealing with. There may be information here that we could utilize. Byron will try to scale these rocks.
Okay. They're pretty easy. We don't need a climb for it. If you're trying to sneak, give me a stealth check.
13.
13. Okay. You're climbing up there. As you do, there is one little rock that kind of plinks down. It's like crack, crack, crack as it falls to the ground. But other than that, not much noise. When you do get up there, your passive perception, I think, is pretty high. You see that the door to this place is open.
I'll just kind of like give signals like shh, and as we move through this, followed up
I'm
by
not very
by
stealthy.
Clank Machine. We'll see what happens with him.
Here I come. Oh, hey! 2 17s, baby.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
Fuck.
Shanty.
You see the path that Byron takes, and you're actually able to follow that route up, and you're even more quiet than he is.
Good job following in my footsteps.
And then Nyx
What-
knocks
what
down
footsteps they are.
every rock
What'd-
on the way
what'd you
up.
get?
I got a 6.
Oh, you get like halfway up, and it's like in a cartoon where they just slide the whole way back down. Like you're just like the whole way back down, but then you're able to get back up to the top. But you don't seem to see anybody around.
I also may have accidentally clipped myself through the map.
Uh-oh. Hold on. Hold on.
No, it's
I'll
good,
get you.
We're good.
Are you good?
That's the problem with
Yep.
being a ghost is you go through the floor.
Yeah.
sometimes, so.
I feel
You
like
were in
that
the
level
Underdark
of,
perfectly.
clunkiness on the map was honestly pretty accurate for the 6 that I rolled, so it's fine. She just stumbles and just manages to get her way up, but is already panting after even just that short climb up.
Byron will peek through the window to see if there's anything in there.
Okay. You look into a smallish, it looks like it's probably a 2-bedroom house. But when you look inside, it is nightmare fuel. You see 3 dead Haragons in the room. 2 of them are older. There's a male that's like light gray fur and a female that's multicolored and spotted with fur, like browns, blacks, and whites. Next to them is actually a smaller Haragon that's gray with splotches of both brown and black. All of them are in prone positions. The male and female are slumped over each other. They have puncture wounds running up and down their bodies, but the smaller Haragon, it seems to be spared the brutality of the older 2. All their fur is now matted and with hardened blood. As you guys look around the room, though, on the one wall in blood is written, "We need Wormrawl to fix the break." I'm going to put that in the chat for you, Lisa. It is WYRMRL.
Thank you very much.
That is, we need Wormrawl to fix the break.
Well, see, this is what I'm worried about. Fix the break. I'm telling you, they dug too deep. They made it into the Underdark, and they have brought something up from there that they just weren't supposed to. This is cult work, I'm telling you.
Cult work.
I mean, sacrificial bodies dead on the ground. They at least spared the child the grotesque torture, or the child is the one that punctured them all up their bodies before it perished.
A ray of sunshine. Can I make a medicine check to see how old the bodies are, / if it's their blood that's on the wall?
Sure.
Just to confirm it.
Yep.
You're probably right, Byron. An 8.
You're not sure. The one thing that you can tell is that whoever attacked them just went crazy. Like, there are so many stab wounds in these that you can't tell where one starts and another ends. With an 8, though, you can tell that the older Harangons, they were stabbed, whereas the younger one, it was just one knife wound directly into their heart.
Byron will look through the papers or anything like that, see if there's anything else of note or interest.
Why don't you guys give me investigation, perception, whatever.
9.
14.
Okay. Do you got anything for me there, Casper?
Oh, sorry. 11.
Okay. So here's what you guys find. And did anybody do an investigation? I apologize. Was it perception or investigations?
I did investigation, but I rolled pretty poorly.
I did perception. I can do investigation as well. But...
Yeah, somebody give me an investigation as well, also on that. But what you guys find is
10.
Okay, perfect. You guys find here there is a box. It's about a foot long, and in that there's some rings on the front of the box. It says ESIV 21-417 and ESIV 21-427. You guys would know that ESIV is a month in the calendar. And then you find 2 gold rings on the Harangons. And that is it. But give me a history check.
Ooh.
Everybody can.
16.
5.
19.
Nyx, you know that this is a Harangon wedding box. When you look inside, there's actually 4 rings. So the first 2 rings are brass, the second 2 rings are silver. And what happens is at after 10 years of marriage, they take off their brass rings and they put on silver rings. And then from year 10 to 20, they wear the silver, and then they go to gold. 20 to 30, they go from gold to adamantine, and after that, they don't do anything anymore. They just take them off. But this was probably a very prized possession in this house. But also on the floor, Nyx, you look over and you see a round mirror. It has a silver handle, and on the handle coming up there's like a flowering vine that spins around it. It's probably not very big. It's about 5 inches across, maybe 8 inches tall. But when you see this mirror, Nyx, you're no longer here. Your vision fades. The grisly scene that's here is gone. And before you see a jovial, rotund-looking human male. He's wearing red robe with yellow trim. He stands roughly 6 feet tall, and his black hair and goatee are speckled with gray, but there's a brightness to his eyes that's almost seems fanatical in its nature. This seems almost like an afterthought to you, though, as the image that's reflected doesn't look what you would expect it to see. You're not sure why you wouldn't expect to see that, because it seems like you can't remember anything. Looking back at you in the mirror is a blue face. It's not unpretty. You'd probably even say that it is attractive. But as you put your hand to your face, the man behind the mirror standing there says, don't worry. You may not be remembering things right now, but that's okay. If Nezrukal's will be praised, you will be very hard to kill in the future. My name is Yistremel. It's Yistremel. I am reborn of the First Order. Not reborn like you, mind you, but he trails off, not finishing his thought. I apologize, but we don't know your name. I've decided to call you Marinel.
Am I present in this scene? Can I react?
Yes, you are. You can. This is a memory.
Okay. It's lovely to meet you, Yistremel. I don't recognize this place. You can tell she is a little bit panicked. Just from not recognizing herself or this man or this room. It's a lot.
I don't expect you to know this place. We found you along the side of the road. It took us days to put you back together, but Nezrukal's wisdoms and I found a book on rebinding the soul that was able to fix you up. Lickety-split. The other temples are going to throw such a fit when they see what I've been able to do here. You're the first.
I suppose I should say thank you.
I suppose you should too. And he boops you on his nose. When he boops you on the nose, you get like a very revulsive feeling. Sorry, that was really hard to say. Run down your spine.
Please don't do that. I appreciate you bringing me here, or bringing me back.
Yes, you were quite dead.
That's okay. Well, that's a lot to drop on a person. How did I die?
Person.
Great. No, that's a lovely introduction to this new existence of mine. Okay, Yistremel, you said you're a part of the reborn of the First Order. But also,
yes.
Is there a Second Order?
Yes, but so I worship Nezrukal. He is a god of necromancy. Yes, we embrace his teachings to bring things back.
And there's others like me?
No. You are a first. You will be my crowning achievement.
So I'm a science experiment.
Yes and no. I was able to bring you back, but think of this as a new lease on life.
You're kind of gross, aren't you?
That makes two of us.
I haven't found anyone on the side of the street and sewn them back together and put body and soul squished based on some book I found.
Oh, well, yes. I did find the book, but I'm the one who put it all together. There was some learnings from over there. There's some learnings from over here, and you're back.
I want to look around the room and see
Sure.
if I can find.
His room is a hot mess. Like, think of the whole, cluttered mind kind of thing. Like, there's papers everywhere. Any place that there is a flat surface, there is papers. They're just stacked everywhere. There are books on shelves. There are books on the floor up to probably waist level, and there's just stacks everywhere. The room that you're in is, let's just say it's 20 feet wide and 15 feet long. There's one door. There's a couple of windows. You can see out through one of the windows. It's just starting to get dusk. It seems like you're in the countryside.
So
Am I alone in the room? Is he in the mirror? Sorry, bud.
So he was holding a mirror like the one you saw on the floor in the Harrigan's house. So he was standing there, holding the mirror for you to see yourself.
Gotcha. Okay.
So during all of this vision, is she just like staring at the mirror, or is it just like a split second?
This is happening very quickly, but yes, she's just stopped and she's staring at the mirror.
Some good old dissociation time.
Yep.
Nice. I don't like this dude. I would taking a look around to see if there's just an open door. I think Nyx would just simply, or I guess if there's one door to the room, Nyx would just simply tell him, well, goodbye. And I would turn around and I would try to leave.
And he snaps his fingers and the door locks and he's like, oh, I think you mistaken me for someone else. I brought you back, and if I need to, I will destroy you. I've given you a new lease on life. You'll not rob me of my prize? That sounded extra creepy. I apologize.
Very gross. Very gross indeed.
Yeah.
Even I felt bad saying
Yeah,
that.
I did.
Yeah.
and what would
Oof.
Nezrakal think of something like this?
He'd be happy.
He's a god of necromancy. If you've given me a lease on life, then surely you should give me the opportunity to live it.
But he would want me to teach others. Look, we're right outside of Foster Hill. There are other locations. There's one near Cheryl Beach. There's one near the Blight. I can share my learnings with you, and we can conquer death.
I
We can.
don't want to conquer death.
As he says that, he tilts his head a little bit, and you can hear a rumbling from outside, and then all of a sudden you hear screams, and you see a look of worry from Ystramel's face. Something crashes in through the window, and all of a sudden there's fire everywhere. You're not sure what scares you more. Is it learning that you're back to life, or that just like this, it can be taken away from you again? Ystramel runs to his desk. He grabs a stack of papers, pushing them into your arms, and snaps his fingers again. The door unlocks, and he goes, quickly, Marinelle. You must flee.
Oh, he doesn't have to
Yeah.
tell me twice. I'm grabbing those and booking it.
Okay. And that is where you're back.
And I'm in front of Nick's like, hey, you with me here? What's going on?
Byron.
Hey.
I just.
Yeah, you kind of spaced out there for a minute. There's a lot of blood here. I know you're probably thinking I should raise these things from the dead, but they are matted with hair, and I don't think I've got enough magic in me to clean these things.
The thought had crossed my mind, yes. However, I had a vision.
Yeah?
I had a memory.
Cool. I think a lot too. What?
That's. My
Are you
system's
okay?
processing. I think so. Yes.
Casper just has his hand like not near you, but in front of him. He's glowing with holy energy. He's ready to heal your whatever.
Let's try
happening.
this. Start putting
That's
words
okay.
together and string those words into a sentence, and then tell us what's up.
I'm sorry. She would pick up the mirror and kind of hold it very gingerly in her hands, kind of almost like a worry stone. She's just kind of like flipping it over and over again. I think I remember my creation, like a birth, but not a birth. But I had this memory come to me of this man, and he was awful. And he told me that he created me, and
So your dad.
oh, ew. When you say it like that, I guess, but he was so creepy. He found some kind of book. I don't know. He said he was part of the reborn of the First Order. Does that mean anything to you, either of you?
DM.
Give me a history check. Or a religion check, actually.
I might know things.
9.
I know some things. 19.
Okay.
I know 19 things.
No, you don't know 19 things.
Oh.
But you do know that this is a classification for the this specific religion. So it's once again, it's Nezrikal. It's Nezrikal, and he is the god of necromancy.
It's the First Order, right? So it's a pretty...
So that would be the classification of like he is high up within the church. Think of it kind of like, for lack of, I mean, obviously not a little bit of necromancy, but a bishop.
Nezrikal. His name was Yistramel, I believe. And
Yep.
and there were other things that I don't know, maybe you could dig up some kind of history check on. Things like Foster Hill and Shale Beach and the Blight.
Well, one of them you don't have to ask. You can just ask him. You can say Shale Beach.
Yeah, I was born in Shale Beach.
What? He said that one of their sister locations was there. Do you remember seeing anything, Byron? And she would grab at his sleeves, you know, the upper, you know, it is whatever, upper arm portion. Grab that on
Lapels.
either side. Yeah, grab his lapels. No, not quite that aggressive, but do you remember seeing anything there? Were there any worshippers of Nezrikal in Shale Beach?
So give me a history check. This is going to need to be pretty high there, Byron.
8. How's that do for you?
You're not aware. But when she says Foster Hill, right? Everybody give me a history check.
I mean, we saw lots
Somebody
of
history check.
things, Nix. I mean, my father was a cleric for Shale Beach. We buried lots and lots of people there. I interned half my village as they perished. I buried a lot of people whenever I was younger. 22 on history.
Okay.
18 on history.
Okay. So you would know that Foster Hill is it's about half a day's ride south of the Pushwick mines.
Okay.
Okay. What sort of cleric was your father?
A grave cleric.
Of Mesrical, by chance?
No, actually, he worshipped Coralon.
Hmm.
It was
Yes.
something I found odd because he was a human. Typically, that's an elven deity.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And she would release his, release the fabric that she'd been gripping. I'm just a bit shaken up is all.
DM.
Yeah.
Would I know anything with my order being the way that it is about the whatever he was? We'll call him the bishop. Was he like on Eldath's most wanted? Was he an enemy of the state in that case? Super
No,
strong evil.
this is one of those things that you would know about, but it's not that he's known a lot about. Like you would know that this is a religion, but it's not a very well-known religion, right? They keep themselves. It is not. Like you would have to go and seek that knowledge. It's not something that would be that just everybody knows. Like Eldath's a pretty big deal. No, this is not something like that.
Okay. Maybe the father of my sect would know more about it. This seems like something they might be interested in keeping tabs on.
Yeah, I mean, I did provide him a live hand in a jar that might actually belong to someone that this
Sounds
all
like
relates
when we get
to.
off of this island, we have quite a few questions that need to be answered. I would pocket the mirror and without really looking at the Haragon, still kind of in her own world, but I'm gonna cast Speak with the Dead on the Lady Haragon and just see if we can get some more info out of her.
Okay. How long ago does Speak with Dead work?
I don't believe that there is a certain amount of time from how long it must have died. It must have
Perfect.
a mouth, and it cannot be undead.
Nope. It's neither of those things. I mean, it has a mouth. It's not undead. At least not until you're done with it.
You can ask up to 5 questions. It only knows what it knew in life, including languages. It is under no compulsion to offer a truthful answer if you are hostile or recognizes you as an enemy. Don't think we have to worry too much about that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna rise up Lady Ghost, just like yours truly, but in rabbit form.
Okay. So
and stabbed a lot.
the rabbit, the female rabbit, the one with the colored splotches, kind of it sits up, very creepy, just lifeless eyes. What do you want to ask it? You get 5 questions.
Holy Eldath. Is that thing like Byron pulls out his rapier?
No, it's just a ghost. But you can ask her questions.
Doesn't make it better.
What happened here?
Oh, okay.
Hey,
Ghosts can be mean.
like,
You're the nicest ghost I've ever known.
show you exactly how mean I can be, Casper.
Never mind.
Let's just get some answers out of her.
When you say hi, it goes, "Hello."
Oh, what a charming and delicate voice you have.
I'm speaking to you through the veil. This is as good as it gets.
You're not wearing a
fair
veil.
enough. I can't say that I've used this spell before. Do you know that you're dead?
It looks around and it goes, It would seem that I am.
That was one of
That's
your
one
questions?
question.
Guys, I'm realizing I have way more questions from one ghost to another. That maybe aren't going to be quite what we're looking for here.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about
Who? Who? Who did this to you?
My precious Yanka.
It was actually the kid? Oh my god.
It was a different kid. That's 3 questions.
What does Yanka look like?
Like a Haragon. She is of 15 summers.
The
Looks
fur.
kind of like the other child who is dead. Everything that's being told you is very, very, there's no emotion to it. It's just fact.
Was it your daughter? Did your daughter kill you?
Yes, I believe that's 5 questions now and slumps over.
Oh, no.
Um,
Oh, no.
Before... God.
However, go ahead. Yeah, what do you want to say before it falls
I
over?
was going to say, before it falls over, I'd like to do something that I never get to do because it's honestly one of the worst features of the Paladin class. Divine Sense!
Okay,
I
was
want
going
to
to say,
detect good and evil.
necrophilia is not allowed on Twitch.
That is not just a Paladin feature, but
God,
you do
reel
get
it in,
buffs to
Casper.
I would like to detect good and evil with my Divine Sense. I can detect Celestial Fiend Undead within 60 feet, not behind total cover, but, and it's up to you. I'd like to see if they are evil or good.
The spirit?
Yeah.
Okay. So Nick's not so sure. But this rabbit folk spirit, it was a good spirit.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Yeah. But when it falls over, you see that it was laying on a letter. There is an envelope underneath it. It's on the floor.
Is it bloody?
Well, it is bloodied. I mean, it was, yeah.
press to digitate?
I read the letter.
Okay, I'm going to put it into chat for you to be able to actually read.
Thank you. She's a little extra misty-eyed. I didn't think that talking to a ghost was going to affect me as much as it did, but honestly, I just have so many questions.
Today is a roller coaster for you. You're all over the place.
She just could fade, and she knew that she was dead, like, immediately.
Byron, after cleaning the letter, reads it out loud. We're all starting to worry about Yanka. She's been looking at us, mumbling about needing to feed the needs of Wormrawl and the Lance. Rala and I have been keeping her locked in her room, and Jessup is sleeping in our room now, but I'm scared. I'm worried she's going to go feral like Mitha's husband down the road. He kind of like flips the letter around. That's it. That's all it says.
Well, Byron, I think you were right. As usual.
I usually am.
Yeah, you usually are. You should predict nicer things. Maybe that would help us out.
If the world was nicer, I would predict it.
Yeah, I know.
What's Byron right about this time?
The children killed the parents.
Oh, right. Yes.
And the thing in the where we're going to is using the cannibalistic whatever to sustain it. I think. Maybe.
What's the chance that Wormrawl is just like a giant worm that's living in a volcano?
Oh, probably highly
Is that
likely.
the case?
Like,
I
there's
mean,
anything else.
based on their names all having to do with Hoppington, Rabbington, and Big Ears, I'm going to assume that the giant monster named Wormrawl is a worm. They aren't the most clever bunch of rabbit folk that I've noticed. Name's usually pretty spot on.
Yeah, when you put it that way, I guess you're probably right.
Eating. Well, what would a giant worm need with the lance? Or with dead rabbit people?
Maybe the lance just enhances what you are. Maybe this worm was already evil and it made itself more evil.
So it could make me like a double ghost.
Potentially, but isn't he the one in the prophecy that we're supposed to be, equipping the lance on?
Oh, right. Yes, of course. It would make him a double orc. Or just No, you're right. That's
I don't
much
know
more
about that.
important. Much more important than a double ghost. You're right. We should find that lance for Casper.
Double ghost means I think you're dead.
I'm
Right.
I'm already dead. Let's get
Well, not as dead as that.
get the hell out of here.
Okay. Justin, I was meaning to ask, since we got into this house, is what's on the table canon? What is that?
That is
Blood and soup.
Okay.
Ooh,
Okay.
spooky.
Yep.
I thought you were gonna say that is pie because it looks like 4 little pies on a table to me.
There's a
nope.
bunch of like the texture they use for blood. It looks like a thing of like spice or dye.
Mushrooms.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Okay, so as you guys walk out of the door, I need everyone to stop. Because we need some initiative.
Oh my god! Is it Wormroll already?
Oh my god, not
He came to us.
Wormroll.
Nope.
That fucking
It
little
came to
rabbit.
us. Oh yeah. Oh the kid.
The kid is out there
Oh,
with.
no.
All right.
She's like a teenager. Like I think 3 fucking 3 adventurers could kick the ass of 1 teenager.
Yeah, we don't love you like your parents did. We'll
Oh,
kick the shit
man.
out of you.
Yeah,
All
now
right,
I
so
feel bad.
I need some initiatives. What you guys got?
19.
19 for Byron. 12? Casper.
3.
3. Okay. And Maeve is not
But
there.
it doesn't matter because my aura affects them anyway.
All
At least
right.
Byron.
So
What the fuck?
here is what's happening. As I sent, for everybody who is listening and or watching, last night I sent a picture of a die that I rolled that had a 19 on it. That was 1 more than Byron's passive perception. So they're going to get an attack round.
Oh god.
Right when you
Is
just
this-
send us mystery die rolls.
Yep.
And it's just
So-
like, how is this gonna fuck us over in the future?
Yep.
Is this a combat that's not? Oh, sorry to interrupt you one more time. Is
Yep.
this a combat that's not balanced for 30 people?
Nope, it's not. Thank you, Clem, for
Love
leaving
that.
us.
I didn't see the people back there, bro. We're fucked.
Oh no!
What do I
There's
do?
a lot of them. Oh no, there's so many.
What are these? What is
So-
attacking us?
As
Wait,
you
what?
come out the door, you hear a scream as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 Haragons start charging at you, and they are feral. They're like foaming at the mouth. They're wearing armor, but it's very, very messed up. Like it's all battered and beaten. They're random weapons they all have, and they are going to spend their surprise round running at you.
Do these look like the rabbits that were riding the wyverns?
Well, these just look like feral
Well,
people. Yeah, So in the same sense of they look like they were villagers who have gone crazy / barbarian at the same time.
is that what the wyvern riders looked like?
Yep.
Or were they?
Yep. So, and just so you're aware, I'm going to change the name of it. to looks like the kid. The one that says looks like a kid, which if you're watching in stream is the one that I'm moving right now. That one looks oddly like the dead kid in the house. So, let's see here. Boop. This one to your left, Byron, is going to attack you. So it has a scimitar in one hand and a knife in the other. So it's going to get 2 scimitar attacks. I rolled a 25 and a 12, and then it has a knife. And the knife is a 12 as well. Does any of that hit you?
25 definitely hits me.
The 25 hits you. All right. So it comes in and it slashes down with its scimitar, and it does 9 damage as the point or the blade cuts into your arm. And now it is your turn, Byron.
Okay, I am going to look at them and say, well, this sucks. And he's going to hold up his hand and bink, that little red bead appears and just spikes it on the ground. I am going to try to position this to where it doesn't just completely wreck us.
Okay.
We do have a bonus to saves. Go for it. +3 to saves.
Do we?
We do. From my aura!
Ayo.
Yeah, I still don't want to immediately do, though, like just a crap load of damage to us.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, so I'll just position it right here. It'll, hit every one of them in front of us, and the guy down here, but, so basically I'll just kind of like arc it over the top and hit it on the path, which means dexterity saving throws.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these will be the front 2. The one that just attacked you got a 18. The one next to him got a 6. The 2 behind them, that is a 15 and a 16. And the 2 in the back, 17 and an 11. And the one who's down behind the rocks got a 12.
Okay, anything below 15.
The one behind the rocks.
So
Anything below the...
anything below the 15. So I think that was just 3 of them below 15. I think there was 7
And
saved.
how much damage did they take?
They took 24 was the hit.
Okay.
So 12 for anything that saved.
Okay, and then this guy got all right. So, let's see. Whoops, I want to do this. So, let's see here. We got one more here.
The kid is dead! What an idiot!
So, the one that was to your right, Byron, you throw this fireball up, and the beefier guys and one of the regular people, they are able to back up, but the child, the one that looked just like from inside, catches on fire, and a scream just erupts from her throat as she gurgles and falls to the ground. It smells actually a little bit delicious because they are rabbit folk. So this
nothing like burnt hair to smell delicious.
What a double entendre.
Yeah.
This second rabbit guy is going to run over, and he's going to take 2 scimitar attacks. That is going against Casper. Oh, sorry, you have more stops. I'm gonna stop talking.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Sorry.
I'm just going to. I think I will just give Bardic Inspiration to Casper first. Yeah, so I'll just as I'm throwing this, I'll say, okay, it'd be really good for you to do a lot of damage here, and then I'll just kind of toss that bead, and that'll be the end of it. So Bardic Inspiration. That's a D8, by the way.
All right, and I gotta do this one here. He's dead. Okay, so this next beefier looking rabbit folk charges over at Casper. He attacks 2 times the scimitar. He gets a 26 and a 10.
What the fuck? Yeah, that hits.
And then he gets another 10 for the knife. Yeah.
Can you not?
That is 9 damage as he cuts into your arm as well. You and Byron both look like blood brothers now. Let's see here. You killed my next 2 guys, so it is now Nyx's turn.
Do any of these dudes look exceptionally beefy, or is it just kind of here's the weaker ones, here's the stronger ones, but there's not like a...
So meta, the ones that have the name Captain, those are the ones who look beefy. So there are 3 of them. There's the 2 that are in front of you. There's one that you can't see, who's coming to get you. But those are the ones that look beefy. The other ones, so the ones that look beefy, they look like they might have had some sort of combat training. The other people look like just normal old farmers or regular Harringons.
Okay, and every single one of them is a Haragon.
Yes, they are all Harringons.
And every single one of them is looking mad feral.
Yep, they are all snarling and snapping. There's drool. Their clothes are torn.
No moral conundrums this time. Just kill them all. Just the way I like it.
Is this like a? Can we like reason our way out of this? And
You can try.
I sure can, can't I? But instead, I'm going to look at. I'm going to look at the one that is closest to Casper. I'll put a little circle around him just so you know. This guy here, and I am going to whisper a sneaky little curse his way. I'm going to use my Sentinel at Death's Door against him, so the next attack against him, he has vulnerability against.
Okay,
I'm
which
sorry,
one?
not
Because I see
Sentinel at
2 of
Death's
them.
Door, but it's my little.
This one.
It's right in the
all
middle.
about angles. It's all about angles. Thank you,
Okay.
Jasper.
Perfect.
That one
All right.
there. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
what do you need from me on this one?
Nothing. The next attack against him, he will have vulnerability against that attack.
Okay, so
Just double damage, basically.
yep.
Yeah, so just
I can hit that guy's dead.
time. I'm also going to use my spiritual weapon because I can cast that as bonus action. I can't attack with it first time out, and I am assuming that a 21 is going to hit. I am not attacking the one that I just cursed. I'm going to let somebody who is bigger and beefier do that.
Okay.
But the one who is closer to me, I'll hit for 8 points of damage.
Okay, let's see here.
And if you want to give me a little,
Which
sneaky scythe on the
right there?
field, that'd be appreciated.
Let's see here.
I appreciate. I
Them
saw you
tools.
had. Someone had Lilo, who's running the stream.
Oh,
Casey.
yeah.
Yeah, Lilo. That's a character.
So I made that so you can move it, Lisa.
Yes, noticed
So-
and appreciated.
Is that where you wanted it to be?
Yeah, because I'm attacking that guy. It's right next to you. This
Okay.
Boom, boom, boom.
And you rolled a 21. What was your damage?
I did 8.
8 points of damage. Okay, so this spectral scythe pops into existence. This guy's not really paying attention, and he's just like, "Ah!" as it cuts into him, and just digs deep into his arm. Anything else for you?
Yeah, knowing that I don't want to be against these 4 dummies that are immediately next to me, Nyx is going to mildly retreat and just kind of position herself a little farther out.
Oh no!
And then go, oh shit, oh god, there's one back here too. Oh no.
Okay,
Go from
good.
there.
That one's coming right for you.
Yeah, I love that, but I'd still rather deal with him than the 4 others.
Okay, let's see here. I have too many characters. The next guy's dead. All right, this guy's going to run up. This Haragon runs up behind you, Casper. This one next to him is going to run up behind Byron. This one's also going to run up behind Byron, and the 4th one is going to run up behind Casper. So these guys are going to get some advantage. No?
Oh,
Somebody is-
no, sorry. That was a groan of, this looks really bad.
Oh, okay. Yes, it does look a little bad. The first guy's going to attack behind you, Casper. He's going to get advantage because he is got flanking.
Oh! That's nice.
That is probably not enough. That's an 18.
Nope, AC's 20.
Yep. So the second guy's going to attack you, Casper. That's another 18. And then Byron, here comes your two. It's a 12. And it was so close. It was on the 20 and then it rolled over to the 17. 17.
I will react with cutting words on him.
Okay.
I'll
What do you
just
say?
You look like you swing like a rabbit.
He's like, rah, rah, rah. How much damage does that do to him?
Nothing. It just reduces his roll by a 1d8.
Okay,
And my
1d8.
armor class is 17, so no matter what, he'll miss me.
Okay, so he runs up and he's so confused by what you said that he kind of at the last second kind of pulls up and his scimitar lands in the ground next to you. However, now we're up to the last bandit captain guy. And
I'm so
he's-
glad everybody gets to go before me. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, you rolled a
pretty
3,
good.
dude.
I did.
We saved
My
the
life.
best for last, my dude.
It's my life.
All right, so here is the first two scimitar attacks there, Nyx. That is a 14 and a 16. Neither of those hit. And oh Jesus, that's an 11 for the knife.
Wow, what a weak ass bitch. that I'm
Loser.
gonna have to deal
Yeah,
with then.
it just comes running up and it's like "Rah!" and slashing into you and misses completely. And now it's
She just
Casper's turn.
Side steps out of the way.
Okay. Fuck these guys. That's all I had to say. I want to hit. So I have Bardic Inspiration. Okay. I
Okay.
am going to attack the person that was hexed. So, Captain A, with an extra A in there.
Get it.
Appreciate your spelling on that one.
Yeah,
That's
that's what happens when I spell real
Capitan.
quickly.
Does your, it's just vulnerable, it's nothing else? Lisa?
Yeah, it's not like advantage or anything.
All right.
But it's when you successfully hit it, it has vulnerability to all of that attack's damage, and then the curse ends.
First attack. 25 to hit, baby!
Ew.
Oof, that definitely hits.
Make it count.
Get fucked! Okay. So vulnerable, so minimum damage as a 6 for one-handed attack, which it is for my longsword.
Okay.
That's +1. However, it's vulnerable. Would vulnerable stack on smites? I have no idea.
don't
see why it
know.
wouldn't.
I mean, smite's just extra, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's go.
I feel like it would. Okay.
I don't know.
So, all right. I'm doing something that I haven't done all campaign. So I'm gonna smite, and then I'm gonna do something else on top of it. But let's do the smite first. Okay, so I smite. Thing I do. Jesus Christ. A 6 for that damage. Feels really
Okay.
good. Out of a
All right.
2d8. So that is 12 damage total, vulnerable, which means it means it takes double damage.
Yes. Okay.
So
Oh,
24
so that-
damage total.
Does a smite that's not an additional hit, correct? That's
No,
just adding.
so
you're essentially
when-
It's
powering
godlike.
your magic.
Yeah, so paladins,
Yes.
the way
Cool.
theirs work, it's like sneak attack. Whenever you hit, you can apply smite, and it's part of your hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You you bring down your weapon, and just this radiant light shoots down from the sky, and you can just see this thing writhing in pain. Writhing in pain?
I think.
Yeah,
So-
sorry. I said it and I was like, oh, that's wrong.
It's Christmas, baby. So Casper he's getting attacked from 3 different angles right now. So he is he's going with his shield, kind of twisting and turning to block the blows. And when he gets done with that, he takes his sword and he what would the word be? scrapes it against the side of his shield, and as he scrapes it, it's filled with, like, as it's scraped, it gets brighter and brighter, and he swings with his sword, and it hits. And when it connects, just this radiant burst of light comes out of his body and kind of echoes across the battlefield. And it hits Byron and Nyx. And you guys feel yourselves get a reserve of energy, health, if you would. And you get... what is that? 19 temporary hit points.
Boo.
Inspiring smite.
Ooh,
I don't like this at all.
hit points.
So-
Wow.
So, as you do all that stuff, this Haragon like staggers back just like a step to reset himself, and he starts to bleed.
That's great, because I'm going to attack again.
Did you
Because I can do
say, was that healing me or you?
that. It
Of
gives
all of us.
Oh,
it gives temp HP,
Haragon,
including me.
his
So-
vision clears up for a second. He's like, "Thank you for healing me."
Yeah. It's temporary hit points to creatures of your choice within 30 feet, including
Oh.
you.
Why'd
Obviously,
you
I'm
choose
not
to
choosing
kill the
you.
Haragon?
I
What are
well,
you thinking, man?
if he was the last one left, I might do that. Just
shits and giggles. Yeah.
yeah. But that is temp HP. And then I'm gonna attack again. What a turn, baby! 27 to hit.
Fuck
Ew.
all of you
Max
guys! Holy
damage.
shit!
13.
Good lord!
You put us against 11 baddies.
Wait, does this guy get? Does that vulnerability? Is this 26 or is it just 13?
Only works the one time.
Okay, I don't want to cheat, so
Still alive.
Hey, good.
he is still alive. Yep.
But he looks hurt, right?
He looks in terrible shape. There is like you've impaled him. Like there's a big hole in the side of his if you've ever seen Scream where he's like low into the outside, there's a big hole like there. You got him good.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna smite again. Because I can. Almost minimum damage. Another 8 damage on top
Oof.
of it.
So this radiant light pours into him, and you see a desperate look in his eyes. He is not in good shape. He looks like he's on death's door.
I smite again.
Can you?
No. I
Okay.
can't do that.
Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Playing the monk's actions tonight is Casper. All right, Bandit Captain B. He is going to attack Byron because that's who's right in front of him. 2 attacks with his swords. That is a 26 and a 12. And then for the knife, it's a 12.
26 hit.
Yep. So that is 5 damage as his scimitar just slices a little bit of your armor open. And now it's your turn, Byron.
Byron kind of looks and he's like, I'd be afraid to set you guys on fire for the fear of the fumes. Just and he just drops the bead right at his feet.
Okay. So that's gonna hit everybody, right?
Everybody.
Everybody.
Okay. So I need a lot of. I'm gonna do. Let's see here.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna start behind Casper. The one on the right, Casper's left, I guess, got a 19. The other guy got a natural 1, so I'm just gonna go ahead and kill him, because there's. Well, what's your roll? What'd you roll for damage?
33.
Okay, yep, he's dead. Let's see. Now the 2 behind Byron. These 2 are.
Face when your bard finally gets fireball.
And the 2 in front. These are the bandit captains. The 2 in front of you guys.
It was either
That's
that or shatter.
So that's a 15 and a 16. So we'll get back to them in a second. This other guy here, that's a 13, so he doesn't make it. And now this captain over here, that's a 19. So how much damage do these guys take?
33, so
16.
Yeah, however you want to devise that.
Yep. Okay, so and now I need some rolls from you guys.
So Byron and I get +3 to the roll, for what it's worth. I think,
It's
no,
dex
mine
saving?
is calculated.
Oh,
Dex
but
saving throw,
yes.
right?
well, in that case,
Okay,
I
yeah.
actually meet.
Nice. I don't think
I'm gonna go ahead and burn my inspiration.
Oh, I can add your bardic inspiration to it, actually, so I'm going to do
That's
that.
true.
It's
There we
1d8,
go.
right, for your bardic
Yeah.
inspiration?
1d8.
Uh-huh.
Got a 23.
3... What is your DC? 15?
Yep.
Nice, I need it. Hell yeah.
Okay, so Byron drops this fireball at your feet, excuse me, and the air around you ignites in flame, and you just see these Haragons who are, like Soar, very, very flammable, just catching fire left and right. And there is... this guy died. Sorry.
After the
Whoops.
smoke clears, he just goes, sorry, Nix, you're doing great. Bardic inspiration.
It looks like an anime where like the camera goes over top and now you guys are standing there and almost everybody else is knocked over, and it is going to.
Capitan A not dead? He was the guy I was attacking.
Oh,
You-
sorry, I knocked the wrong guy down. I apologize.
Okay.
Boop. This guy is knocked down. All right, the other one, he is. You're looking at there, and you can see that his skin has started to catch fire, and there's blood coming down his arms. And it is now going to be Nyx's turn.
Goody.
Next.
I am going to bring over my. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm blanking on the word of it already. Bringing over my scythe and taking
Spectral
a
weapon?
swing at. You know what? All right, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna use my second Path of the Grave on this guy.
Okay.
I'm just gonna whisper that same kind of curse on him as well, and then we're just gonna take a whack at him. Does an 18 hit?
An 18. Yes, it does hit because this is considered melee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He brings up his sword to try to parry it out of the way, but he's unable to.
Oh, I'm sorry. It is a melee spell attack, if that makes a difference. It's force damage.
Okay, it's you still over the number, so it works.
Okay, cool. I hit him for 16 points of damage.
Oof. Okay, so let's go find him. All right. So
Is he dead?
no, he is not. The scythe comes down. It cuts into his armor, and it actually cuts through his armor and onto his chest. And you can see that he is now bleeding, very, very savage blood.
Will you die already? And then I'm
Savage
gonna...
blood?
Yes, you look at him, and his little nose is wiggling up and down as he's smelling the air and being crazy at the same time.
I am going to cast Guiding Bolt on him. Let's see if
Uh-oh.
that does. Let's see if that does enough to finish him off, right? Ooh, does a 17 hit?
A 17 does hit.
Excellent. All right, that's another 12 points of damage on him.
Okay.
How about now? Is he dead now?
No,
do
he
it?
is not. And guiding
What a
bolt
pain.
is what kind of damage?
Guiding Bolt is going to do radiant damage.
Okay.
And he's now covered in the glittering light, so next attack against him is going to be made with advantage.
Okay, so you throw your hands out, and it looks like a stripper exploded all over him. He's just covered in glitter. Can you do anything else over there, young lady?
Now he's got that good old battle glitter. What is
Okay.
it called?
Blood.
You're calling me
hero
good,
glitter.
whatever. Yeah. Hero
Aggressively
glitter. There it
bejeweled.
is.
So, this guy is enraged, and he is going to try to attack you, Nyx. He's got his 2 scimitar attacks.
Good fucking luck.
That is a 26
Oh no.
and an 8.
You wished him
And-
luck. I don't know.
And a 20 on the nose with the knife.
Oh, but that's so weird. Wait a second. There's a call in chat for inspiration.
What?
You
Looks like
said you
someone's gonna
already
have to
used
do it.
Bellsprout?
No, you said you already
oh.
used your inspiration.
Because I had inspiration from when I shot that
Oh.
dragon out of the sky.
Oh, okay.
This is my chat inspiration.
Oh, this is your chat inspiration?
Bam! Oh, feels
So-
good. Oh, feels good.
Okay, so you're the last roll that I did? Or the first? Which roll are you trying to negate
I
here?
didn't want the 26, but the 20
si-
hits me anyway.
The scimitar is more damage.
Okay, that one.
Okay. 22.
Damn it. Yeah, all right, fine. Yeah, fine. Who needs ghost flesh anyway, right? What if you can just hack off a little piece?
Yeah,
You just
he
reattach
is
it later, right?
he is flailing madly, and this scimitar it just gashes into you, and then he comes back over with an overhand stab. He does 11 points of damage to you.
Ow.
Yep,
Ow.
and that'll be his last turn ever. And now it's Casper's turn.
As it should be.
Here comes the consequences of his actions, baby. Chugga. All right. You know what's great? Actually, I'm gonna count my movement because I can probably come over here and finish this guy off too.
You can just literally shift
Just boop
move.
him.
Oh yeah. Not even.
Boop
close.
snoot.
They're fucked. Okay. Casper is recovering from the fireball. His armor and shield are covered in soot. It left like an outline on his face from where the
Next to
the
the
fireball.
building, it's like when the atomic bomb went off. It's just your shadow.
yeah. You got it, Justin. Just like
Yep.
that.
That's how it
Horrible
happened.
piece of history. That's okay. 21 to hit. The advantage did help. For 13 damage, baby.
That guy gets his head cut directly off.
And then I pirouette immediately. I swing and just turn and start charging over to this guy because D&D is really cool and fun to play. And
For you, maybe.
well,
Jeez.
yeah. And then I'm going to attack this guy.
Okay.
11 to hit.
Oh no, that does not hit. So you come running. Think about how fucking scary that would be. What you're like a linebacker with a sword and rage running around a field. You cut this guy's head off, turn and charge directly at this other guy. But as you get there, he just kind of he takes a step back,
Wait.
and you're so.
Whoa.
What's up?
Wait.
What?
Don't we get flanking? What the hell's going on here?
You don't get flanking for that one
Why not?
because you're beside him. That's
oh
not where
my
you.
God.
If you would have put your guy behind him, you would have gotten flanking, but you put him beside him because you were cocky.
God, you just charged in there without considering flanking rules? What kind of Eldath is going to be so disappointed?
Eldath, you hear this voice in your head that says, "Stop playing meta."
Byron says, but it was a very nice pirouette.
It was a beautiful pirouette.
What part of my character's meta? Tell me. What part?
There's too much of your character being angry and green. There's no room left for meta.
Well. Okay. All right. That's my turn.
Okay,
Fuck this guy.
it is his turn. I
Bring
don't
it.
see how he would do anything but try to run. He tries to run.
I will pull out my
Go ahead.
rapier to try to stab him.
I did it first. 12 damage.
19 for 8.
I'm gonna let you guys dual describe how you kill it.
Okay, Casper takes his. If you let me, Casey. Casper takes his longsword and kind of like slams it against him, while he turns to try to run, and he just pushes it onto Byron's rapier.
I think so. As you push it, hoping to have it onto my rapier, Byron's going to like stick it in his carotid artery, like very delicately, and then pull it out. And as you push him off, like after slamming your sword all the way through to the hilt, I'm like, "You got him, Casper. Good job."
Thank you. Thanks. Good fireballs.
Yeah, sorry about that. I haven't quite got the grasp of how to like throw them accurately yet, and then apparently you could fumble them. I was completely unaware of that.
You know what's great is that you didn't even break my temp HP. So that's a great combo, honestly.
Yeah,
Yes,
that was.
we all did a very good job. Also, what the fuck? Why the fuck were there so many Aragons out here just
Well,
waiting for us?
what they say about rabbits. That's why there's so many. And then also, I mean, we heard that they were. What? That was really.
There was absolutely nothing out here when we approached this place other than a couple of dead ones that we found inside. And then the second we come out, they're surrounded by 11 of them.
It's their homeland.
There's a reason why I said that we should be proceeding carefully.
And you guys can see, like behind you, if you're paying attention, Byron is writing in his journal, "Rabbit brothel?" ?
Save that note. It's not a bad idea, Byron, but it's not the point right now either.
I need all of you to make a wisdom saving throw with advantage.
You all have my aura.
Oh my god, double advantage. Oh,
not
yikes.
not double advantage. Just +3.
Does an 11 tickle your fancy? Wait, plus 3? That's a 14. So does a 14 tickle your fancy?
25.
Okay.
A 18.
Nyx, in your head, you hear. I don't know if it's noise gets gonna get this, but you hear. Bring us. Could you hear that?
Bring us.
I could. So I was
It
getting
was
some,
whispering.
like, crazy whispers just now.
Yeah, whispers, worm roll, and then bring it to us. Is what it was supposed to say.
Do I have any kind of sense of like where this sound may have been coming from?
Mm-mm.
The souls of 50 Haragon that we killed.
Yeah. So something just tried to invade one's mind, and Wormrawl is apparently looking for a little something something. I don't know what. It might be a rabbit brothel. I haven't ruled that possibility out yet. But maybe we just stay extra alert and particularly close to Casper for that sweet, sweet bonus.
Yeah.
Tried or successfully invaded your mind?
Well, successfully, but I don't. She kind of steps back and just kind of like wiggles her limbs a little bit, like checks her form. I don't feel different though. You know that like cursed feeling that you get when you've been charmed. I'm not feeling that.
No, I'm exceptionally witty. I haven't been charmed.
I would say you've been charmed by Casper once or twice, but
No.
So,
I am charming.
No, he charms me. That's the dynamic.
Well, that sensation that I get when I look at you, Byron, is not quite what I'm experiencing at this moment. It was something a little bit more like cult whispery.
Oh, well, that's
I'll
fun.
just keep an eye out for it, but please, if I start acting a bit strange,
I'll stab you.
kill me.
Oh.
No, that's no. No.
Don't you just
Maybe
come back
don't.
to life?
Smash you.
Put me in the hole. You've got that magic hole thing, right? Just put me in the hole for a bit. See if I calm down.
I can do that.
Excellent.
Is that your verbal consent?
This is my.
If you complain in the future, we're gonna do it anyway.
This is my sober verbal consent that if I
Okay.
become cursed or charmed, you have my permission to put me in Byron's
hole. Got it.
magic weird hole thing. I don't. Let's not.
Nope.
Put me in there and then try to fix me and not kill me.
You have consented to coming in my hole.
I don't. I hate it here. Stop the stream. We gotta redo that whole scene.
Nope. They're gonna start doing
their brain.
sounding here quickly. What?
Oh,
We
Jesus
should
Christ.
go.
Can we? So, did Byron and I know that we tried to get mine hacked?
No.
And succeeded? Nothing.
Nope. Nope.
Okay. Casper's gonna hold out a gloved hand towards Nyx, its glowing holy aura. You're used to that, and say, "You might still be recovering from the mirror. If you want, I can. If you'll let me, I'll heal you."
Yes. Yeah. Sure, yes. You're welcome to. Thank you for asking.
He gently puts his fingertips on her shoulder and tries to not be insulted. How much are you damaged for?
9.
Byron, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm pretty hardy. Takes a little bit more than a few swings of a sword to run me through.
Cool. I won't touch that.
Your bolstering words and presence did more for me than anything.
I try. I feel bad. I have the ability to reduce damage done to you once a turn, but I kept waiting for them to really just fucking destroy you and it never came.
Oh,
That's my bad. I could have reduced it by some amount. I'll be more proactive with that.
It's more than fine.
Too strong for them.
I will look around and start looting.
Okay. Nyx, you were gonna say something.
I am, but I can say it as Byron is looting because it's directed to Byron.
Okay.
Byron, I believe out of the corner of my eye, I saw you fumble with that fireball.
Yeah, I didn't know magic worked like that. I haven't quite got a grasp on that portion of it yet. It's it's really easy to string words into a magical essence. Actually creating a magical essence that's tangible, that can explode, very hard to hold on to.
Byron, is just to be honest with me here. Did you just want to use the fireball in that spot and you didn't want to admit to hurting Casper and I, so you just pretended to drop it?
No, I really sucked with this.
I'm gonna roll a cheeky little insight. Oh, good.
What'd you get?
I'm so glad to hear that. I rolled a 14, but Byron's got like a plus 20 natural fucking. Like, it doesn't fucking matter what I roll. I'm gonna believe anything this asshole tells me. Glad to hear. Really appreciate you not doing that. Would have been awful if you'd accidentally killed any of us, but I'm very glad to know that that wasn't your intention.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, I never would intentionally harm us with fire.
So did you find anything interesting on that rabbit friend?
Or froze.
As I push over the bodies.
Yeah, you guys, you find there. Each one of them has a scimitar. They all have there was 4 of them that also have knives on them. They're all wearing rags that would work like leather, but it's more like a hide armor than it is a leather armor. Other than that, they don't have much on them.
Even the small child that was referenced as holding a lance in the letter. Okay, I will pick her body up and put her against a rock and say, Nyx, can you make her talk?
And just so you're aware, she wasn't talking about holding a lance. It says looking at us and mumbling, needing to feed the needs of Wimral and the lance.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, and the lance. I missed that also. Yes, of course. Do you want her speaking the human words, or do you want her as the reborn and the moving kind?
However it takes to get the answers we need. I don't know the right way to do that.
Right.
I'm looking.
Okay,
I'll be
not
honest.
zombie
I'm
version.
having
Got
hard
it.
time holding on to magic. I can't do what you do. That's different.
You can see she actually takes a little bit of pride in this. This is a compliment to her. I will cast Speak with Dead on the teenager. This
Okay.
poor kid. This poor kid. What did she get into? Yonka, girl, we're gonna have a
Only
talk.
go full fucking exorcist.
She got into some fires. What she got into?
She got into a bad crowd of bad rabbits. And
So you cast that on Yanka, and it looks like when Bugs Bunny lights the fake cigar and completely just turns into like ash. She is there. She's smoldering still. It's actually your. If you would eat, your stomach would be grumbling because it smells pretty good.
That
You keep
delicious
saying
smell
that.
of burnt hair.
I don't know.
Justin is trying so badly for us to also be the cannibals. He's like, you know how this island turns you into cannibals? Maybe it's just because rabbits are delicious. Maybe.
Well, then we wouldn't be cannibals. We would just be eating rabbits.
They're also humanoid. They're freaking. They're
rabbits.
If
They're
the
not
smell,
monsters.
if the smell
They're
of burnt,
people.
if the smell of burnt hair wasn't enough to overpower the smell of the roasted meat, Byron is going to prestidigitate like just the most acrid, putrid smelling flesh just in the area. He's just gonna do a little bit.
Is this a direct response to Byron's tummy rumbling from the sweet, delicious smell of rabbit meat?
100%.
He's like, let's just nip that in the bud.
Yeah,
body.
he-
No urges, no. Get back down there.
Shut it down.
Not come up.
Hi, Yonka.
Hello.
Okay, again with the spirit voice. We're learning a lot about ghosts today.
Yeah, really weird.
Is Wormroll a giant worm?
No.
Oh. Well, we're learning quite a bit about giant worms today, too, huh? Well, anyone else? Like
Real
to
quick,
Go ahead?
just to clarify, they can just lie to us, right? With the spell. They can
If
just
they're
fucking lie.
hostile, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So it could still be a giant worm.
How do we?
Was that a question?
Mm-mm. No, it was not.
to you, bitch. Fuck you.
How do we? How do we bring it to Wormroll?
It is in the mines. It must be completed.
Okay.
We keep using the word it. What is it?
It. The lance.
Oh. Okay. What is Wormroll?
We have never. I don't know. I said we. I have never seen Wormroll. But the voices tell me. The voices that never stop. The voices, they're in my head. Well, they were in my head.
You're welcome.
We freed you from that.
Technically, they are correct, yes.
It's just, like, you got to remember, this thing is standing there. It's super creepy. There is nothing going on. It's literally just a mannequin at a department store, still smoldering a little bit. And I imagine that when it talks, like its mouth opens up, and the words just come out. It's not actually talking. Have you ever seen Phantoms? The movie Phantoms, when they go to talk, they open their mouth and the voice comes out, but their mouth doesn't move.
Is that 3?
I believe that was 3, yeah.
What exactly does it want people to bring to it?
It wants us to bring it to Wormroll. you can see that it's trying to put together what you're asking it, but it can't give you. It's not giving you another answer than that.
I want to ask it what I want to ask it about what turned it, guys. Do you think that would be a proper question?
That's not a bad one. I was thinking as well, how many more of its friends are in the area? It's something that might be useful.
That's our last question, so
Yeah, I know.
Well, I mean, I
It needs to
can't
be our
actually
last
cast
question.
the spell one other time today. So I mean, if we want to cast it,
But can you cast it on the same
not
creature?
on her? No, I don't think
Keep
so.
bringing her back. Why?
What have you brought me back for again?
let me pass.
I was in the middle of a sandwich.
I'm open for either.
Let's do the deep question. We'll just kill the other ones if we come across them. Iron, you can go.
Do you know what turned you vile?
It looks directly at you, Nyx, and says, "It started with a whisper."
Oh, that is I have to admit that is a bit of the worry that I had, was that she was going to answer that. Yes.
I'm still talking. It started with a whisper, and then it turned into a scream. For days and days, I languished in this pain. And then it changed. I had to free my mother and father from the same pain that I was going to go through, that I went through. They didn't deserve it.
Okay, so
So noble.
we're on a ticking clock then, as her body crumples back down into nothingness.
Goodbye.
Bye.
It just lays down, puts its hand under its head.
Oh,
Well, she was 15.
we should bury her.
Yeah, that
I
would
don't know
be.
if we have time.
Is this what paladins do? Do you just slaughter the
Listen.
masses and then just leave their bodies?
I have been the one wanting to bury every person we fucking murder this entire campaign. But right now, for Nyx's sake, I don't think we have time. If we want to do it, I am very practiced in it. Maybe because I kill a lot of people. Whatever. Point stands.
I mean, I've literally buried hundreds of bodies with my father.
Are you bragging right now?
I'm just saying, practiced is.
I've unburied hundreds of bodies.
See, that's concerning.
What that? Sorry, was that not? That was inappropriate.
No.
We
Not the time.
we should bury her. I am not saying that I'm going to try to kill the two of you in the same way that Yanka killed her parents, but just again, let's just stick with the whole plan,
Nyx.
just in case.
Nyx, that's really nice, but you'd never be able to kill both Iron and I. Sorry. It's just not gonna happen.
I would
Byron
like
puts
to
his
be
arm
offended,
around
but you're
Casper and he's
absolutely
just like,
correct.
"We're beefy boys."
we are beefy boys.
Byron, you and I have the same AC, all right? Listen.
But
You're
I
talking
have.
to the highest HP people in the parties, so I don't know.
I can kick
Anyway.
your ass.
I got 3 C's
Just
now.
saying. Okay,
All right,
listen.
guys, what do you want to do?
wanna
I
kick
think
their
we
ass.
head towards.
Let's go, bitch.
It's starting. She's already there. She's crushed it already.
Oh, me get them out.
Dear, you don't want to do that. Trust me.
I will turn around and I will move and start digging a hole.
Okay, we start digging a hole.
Digging a hole.
Let's do it.
Fairly quickly. Shallow grave. Not trying that hard.
All right, you guys dig just enough
I
so
have a
that
shovel.
okay, you dig just far enough down so that when in a day or two, it looks like they're coming back to life as their arms shoot up from underneath the ground. but you lay them to rest.
Purely selfish burial. We don't care about them really in the long run. It's just for our feelings.
Yeah, I mean, they're not not all bad. They're being taken over by whatever this wormhole thing is.
After the
Not
hole
really
is
their
dug,
fault.
Byron will start saying words of, like last rites, just over them as they're getting dumped into a mass grave.
Okay.
We
As
need
far
to find the cave entrance. Sorry.
Yes. Nope. That was exactly it. It was, do we know the way there? Can we just keep following the path?
Yeah, you would see, you've been following the map that you had. You guys are headed south towards the cave entrance. And as I said before, there is a second cave entrance. What's up, Casper?
Before we get to any place where we're going to get ambushed again, we should take a short rest.
Okay. You can stay here and hole up in the house, or you can do it on the side of the road. Doesn't matter to me what you want to do. Just let me know.
Stay by the house. I
yeah.
can't imagine we're going to get ambushed a second time here.
We
And out
already
of
did it once.
nowhere, there's
Okay.
wyverns riding dragons, and they fly down.
Okay, so short rest. That
Yep.
sounds good. You lose your temp HP, unfortunately, but that's whatever. I get my channel divinity back.
Yep, that's the only thing I care about is getting channel divinity. Gotta curse more bitches.
So, okay. While we're taking a short rest, I don't know what that looks like. We're burying bodies. Casper's gonna say to Nyx, I have lesser restoration. If we want to try that. If you're worried about turning more.
Oh, I'm extremely worried. Yes, I did not like the whispering voices in my head.
Okay. Okay.
Do it.
So that might not. Okay.
Do it.
I was gonna say that didn't sound like
Do
a
it.
question, maybe, but.
Do it.
All right.
Casper, fix me.
There's not enough magic in the world for that, but I will try to fix this one thing. Did that do it? Okay. I cast Lesser Restoration. Justin.
Okay.
Does that do
Okay.
anything? I use a spell slot.
You're not sure.
Bruh.
Ooh, hate that.
Okay. Okay.
Did it work? Did you do it?
You don't know.
I don't feel any different.
Really, you're the one that's supposed to tell me.
Yeah,
If
we
you
should
feel
probably think about. They did say you have been cursed with this. We might look at removing curse. Nyx, I don't know that magic. I apologize, but
It to us.
we
Bring
did.
it to us. Bring
Oh,
it to us.
oh dear.
Bring it to us.
Hmm.
Ugh.
I don't know how to tell you this, but there is more whispering, and this time it is a little bit louder. Not at scream level,
Whisper,
but
whisper.
Okay.
definitely a still
Let's go.
curse.
Yeah, let's head towards the cave.
Okay.
Hmm.
The caster's gonna whisper to Byron as they're walking. Do you have the hole ready? Are you ready with that?
I'm always ready with my hole.
Okay, good.
You hear Eldath say, "Put your pants back on."
Dad.
We need-
I'm busy.
Get going.
Yeah. All right, let's do it.
All right. I seem to have not named my next board. So let's hope it's this one. Nope, that is not it. I don't know where I put my board. So
What if we get to the cave entrance and then we just take a long rest? And then someone can switch around her spells. I don't know. I'm just speaking hypothetically.
You might turn in that time.
True. Or we could wait even longer and then take a long rest. And then I will most certainly turn during that turn.
Yeah.
No, we'll worry about that when we get to the screaming, and then once we get to the screaming stage.
Do we know if no.
Maeve?
Maeve's character has. No, she's a monk.
Yeah,
Nope.
no.
Never mind.
But Byron has been periodically tearing off pieces of bread and leaving it on the ground as we've been walking, just so that way Maeve can follow us.
Excellent.
All right. I apologize, but my board did not load. So we're going to have to stay on this board while I explain what's going on. So you guys are walking for another hour or so, and I went to the wrong board myself. You're walking for another hour or so. You guys can see the mountains. They're very, very close now. And out of nowhere, you just hear screaming, and you see about a dozen people. There's tieflings, there's some dwarves, some humans, and they are all running away from the mine entrance. They are wearing the same colored clothes of the Rapatapa that you were seeing in Rapatapa Mining Town 4. And they are running away from these caves as quickly as they can.
I say we stop and grab one. Stop.
Okay.
Wait. No, don't. Wait. Can you tell us what's going on?
There's a dwarf that runs by, and you stop him, and he's like, "Lass, you've got to run. There be fire creatures down there. It's getting worse and worse in the mines."
Describe fire creature.
Creature made of fire, running at me. Rah! And he's trying to.
Did it look like fire that was moving, or did it look like an animal?
They looked like lizards. Some were small. There was a big one too. It wasn't. They weren't dragons, but they were big. The one's probably 6 foot tall. The others are probably 3 or 4.
Oh, that is pretty big. And there's how many down there?
He's I don't know, at least a half a dozen. We were working on a new vein of adamantine, and they came up from the magma, and they got Charlie.
Okay.
They got Charlie. It was he was
sweetheart.
there, and then the next thing you know, there was a flame panned through his stomach. I can still smell it.
Oh,
Bless
What
you,
did it smell like?
Rob.
awful.
Thank you. What did it smell like? Was it
It
good?
did not smell as appetizing as burning rabbit.
Damn.
Oh.
Okay.
Any chance you know what a worm roll is? Not to change the subject, but just do you know what a worm is? That, or could any of those fire things have been a worm roll?
Worm roll? What is?
Mm-hmm.
You sound as crazy as those Haragon that come to kill us twice a week.
Oh, that is frighteningly relevant. Yes, friend. That's okay. If you don't know, that's okay. Go back to your being terrified, I guess.
Ah! And he runs away.
Nice to meet you.
It's a
Bye,
pleasure to
my
meet
friend.
you.
Fire creatures.
Yes, this should be interesting.
It's probably fine.
Yeah, you'll live forever.
Yeah, we'll live forever.
Byron proceeds to look into his poisoner's kit to try to focus his poisons on elementals.
Good idea.
So, give me an Arcana or just a straight up intelligence check there, Byron.
26.
Okay, what he was describing to you does not sound like an elemental.
Like a fire salamander.
That would be more with a 26. That's you're pretty sure that's probably the big creature that he described.
Okay. Okay, I'll just focus my poison towards that.
Okay.
Beast type
and-
nature.
Whoop. And all right, so you guys are going into the mines.
I believe so. Are we not?
I don't know.
Are we on a timing
feeling it.
on a ticking clock to save our friend,
Well,
or are we just gonna let her
one
go
of us
insane?
is.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
I mean, I think if we took a long rest, I'd probably be fine.
Probably.
I'd probably be just. I mean, I'll probably just.
With your
fine.
luck.
I mean,
Weren't
yeah.
you the one that was cursed out of the three of us?
Yeah.
Your luck isn't holding out.
Do we need to be worried about you turning in this time frame? Because it would be detrimental to us if, we wait to have you get stronger and then we have to put you in a hole.
Or if I become even more crazy, then maybe I'll hear more of these whispered voices of who Wormroll is and what he wants.
See, that statement right there makes me think we should put you in a hole.
No, it's not whole time yet. It's not whole time
You
yet.
don't decide when it's whole time.
First I get more crazy, and then I get helpful knowledge.
Yes, you're already crazy.
Down Wormfall, and we can track down Wormroll even faster. Listen to me, I'm speaking sense.
You have to pay extra for deciding when you get to use whole time.
I don't need a whole time. I do need to get into that cave and figure out what my god Wormroll wants from me. Wormroll, I'm coming!
All right, let's.
And I charge into the caves. And then I go, I'm joking.
Get the hole.
As Byron is jogging after her, he's just kind of talking loudly at Casper, in a Nyx whisper, and he just is like, "We may have to kill her by the end of this."
That's fine. I've always wanted to wander off into a forest alone.
That's how you know your character's about to die. Hey, you find a forest.
And there's a long path.
Check.
All right.
You must
So we
pass
go
a
into
32. Oh, you didn't? Okay.
So close.
So, you guys. Oh, look! I found the other thing that I was looking for. You guys show up at the mine. It is. There's probably it's about a 20-foot wide opening. So it's 20 feet wide, 20 feet tall. You walk in. When you walk into the mine, there's a smell of sulfur. There is in this initial opening area, there are spots where there are trolleys to put adamantine stuff in. There's pickaxes, all the things that you would think of in an old-timey mine. And then there is a shaft leading south. Excuse me. The shaft that leads south actually goes to a 10-foot by 10-foot old-time elevator. So it is. It's got about a 12-inch rope that is being used as a pulley system, and then there are weights on it to allow it to go up and down. Do you guys want to go down the thing?
That. I don't want to go on that.
Okay.
So is it like the whole cave goes to this, and this is like the end point?
This is how people are getting down to where they would do their mining.
How else do you expect us to get down to the sulfur area?
I was hoping you had a better plan.
Do you still have your floating disc? Could that work like an elevator?
I have it, but it can't change elevation like that. At least I don't know how. I mean, I can just cast Featherfall on us and we can just float down to the bottom. If that's an issue.
Sounds good.
Let's take the elevator. Or whatever that's called. That room that goes up and down. I don't know what an elevator is.
We know what a lift is. Hop in.
Oh, okay. Let's take a lift.
Does anyone have mending? Could we check the parts of it to make sure it's not broken?
Sure. Give me an investigation check. What you guys got?
Ooh, I got an 8.
Anybody else?
Oh, yeah. 20!
Okay.
Yeah, 10.
So, Casper, you have seen these 100% before. In fact, you've actually worked on these before in a different church that you were at somewhere. Apparently they had that. Maybe it's a bookseller or something. But you look it through and you can see that this thing is working in perfect shape. It is it is in fact the equivalent of a freight elevator in today's world.
I have unlocked part of my mind, and I know that this elevator is safe. So
I know Kung Fu.
Wait, did you just have a flashback by looking at the crate elevator like she did a mirror?
I did. It was
What did
far
you
less
see?
interesting. We won't spend any time on it. But I did. I did go up and down at least once, and I know this is working. So
I've gone up and down more than once.
Onto the elevator.
Okay, so you guys descend down. As you're descending down, you can see that there's actually there's hand holes at regular intervals that have been cut into the rock. So in case this lift wasn't here, you would still be able to get out from where you were at. The people who made this obviously put some thought into what they were doing. It wasn't just like just throw a hole in the ground and if people die down there, they die down there. But as you're going down, this takes a while. You feel that you've probably gone half a mile to a mile down into the earth, and as you're getting farther down, it is getting hotter and hotter and hotter. And when you get to the bottom, you are in a room that is a giant cave opening. You can follow that. Actually, for anybody who's listening, I did in where was it at? Tavern Chat. I threw the maps in. So if you look at the map in the top right-hand corner, that is where you guys are going to start. If this is somebody listening to a podcast in the future, join our Discord. You can find those maps there. So in the top right-hand corner, that's where you guys start. The room opens up. The floor is oddly not like how it's shown in the map. There is a lot more lava in places than you would have expected from the map. And as you come into view, you see those fire creatures that the workers were talking about.
Do
Before
we see
you-
Charlie's body?
What?
Do we see Charlie's body?
Nope.
Charlie,
Yeah.
find you.
But you guys see there are 6 creatures down here, and some of them look like small lizards, and then the other one, as Byron pointed out, is a fire salamander. And that's where we're going to stop tonight.
Maeve, you've arrived.
She does like 6 backflips down the it's like a reverse Ninja Gaiden jump where they go back and forth, and she lands beside you guys and says, hopefully next week I can play.
She didn't say anything because her mouth is full of breadcrumbs.
I can believe in the breadcrumbs, Byron. I sure do.
Thank you for the snack.
Yeah.
I'm so
Listen.
sorry, Emily, that we have bastardized your voice on the show.
I love Mavis.
No, let me try again.
We know.
Thanks for the
Love-
snack.
Perfect. That was it.
Emily? So
Loves riding dragons. Loves bread.
if you've made it this far, we really do appreciate you guys for hanging out with us today. If you would be so kind, tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell an enemy about our podcast, our YouTube, and our stream. And if you're feeling extra special, you could be like Sigma's Tavern and throw us some subscriptions there. So we really, really appreciate you guys. You're the best. We do need some inspiration. Lisa, kick it out there.
Yes, inspiration this week is going to Wifey, and I apologize, I've already lost your comment, but there was something you said earlier about the teenage girl being evil that made me laugh. But also just a big shout out to Misprint and Kite Sage and Wifey and Sigma for showing up and hanging out with you guys. We love you and appreciate you very much.
Yeah. Keep being awesome, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Guys, love you.